Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. So this morning is kind of light. Last night they had the presidential debate. Nothing was mentioned about crypto. Disappointing. But this morning we should actually get PCE numbers, and that's going to tell us a lot. So I'm thinking that today is going to be a sell-off. Fetch.ai, Singularity, and Ocean are going to merge. Everything starts next week. Here's the problem, though. Coinbase is not going to support the actual merger, right? They might support ASI thereafter, but they're not supporting the actual merger. So you're going to have to find an alternative means, probably clicking a button where you send your coin, they send back the ASI. So that shouldn't be too difficult, but you are going to have to find your own way to do it if you're holding one of those coins. Next up, what do we have? Last quarter, Q2. I want you to think about this, just Q2. $572 million already stolen through hacks, exploits, phishing, all that kind of stuff. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I'm kind of wondering, like, how do we fight that? Right? How do we fight that? And I think it really comes down to people need to be more diligent about, who they're doing business with. That's one. And then we have the exchanges, bridges, dApps, everybody else that also needs to step up their security. Security needs to be at the forefront and not as something that comes from behind. Ethereum spot ETF approvals are just around the corner, and we're expecting that to happen like next week. Next week, I think, could be the week, right? 8As are being filed. Some 8As have already been filed. Some are still to be filed, but we're thinking that's going to start next week, right? I mean, just with the Ethereum spot ETF race, and the 8As being filed, BlackRock is there, VanEck is there, Fidelity is there, and then you have VanEck with the Solana ETF that they're wishing for. So there's a lot going on in that space, like a lot. And I'm just wondering, like, let's just look down the road. You've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then, Solana. Who's next? Or what's next? The whole point of the ETFs is to kind of open it up so that people that are uncomfortable going out and buying their own coin directly would be using ETFs. Which one do you think would be next? I know that, there was an executive, I think it was the president of Ripple, actually saying it should be XRP. And I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, that would definitely bring breathe some life into that coin, which to me has otherwise been abandoned by Ripple, right? But an XRP ETF, would do it. That would actually bring some life into it. But then we also have to see, what else happens, because I think the use cases for XRP are being moved toward real USD. I was speaking about this last night, and I just get the feeling that XRP is an afterthought, right? It's not even an afterthought. It was a forethought for them, and then, all right, we're done with it for Ripple. And I'm just like, well, it's unfortunate. But everything points to Ripple kind of not abandoning, but Ripple kind of saying, well, XRP is its own thing, and we're going to have XRP Ledger and real USD, right? XRP is going to do what XRP does. We're leaving it up to other people to do, to do some stuff with XRP. And I'm sitting there and I'm just saying, I'm not selling my XRP yet, but again, I am also not adding to that bag. It's now out of my DCA strategy. That's saying a lot. That really is saying a lot. Then you have VanEck with their, Solana ETF, and, I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying to myself, what's the potential of Solana? There, SIL 80 is, a subscriber that, always has a comment, and they're always saying that, I don't pay attention to, speed, cost, or whatever about Solana. I actually like Solana. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I actually like Solana. I just think that Solana has a hidden problem, and it's a network problem. I don't understand how hard that is to understand. I don't get it, right? That's as simple as I can put it. That's the only thing I have an issue with for Solana. I don't think it's ready for real-time transactions. Or let me rephrase. I think it's ready for real-time transactions. I don't think it's ready for mission-critical transactions. Right? Will it get there? Maybe. But for right now, there are other coins that are able to handle mission-critical tasks. And there's a bounty of them out there able to do that. I'm dying to see what happens with Cardano when Cardano has its, Chang hard fork and they start opening up, because the security level there, the speed, the cost, the resilience, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for in a project that I would want to use in a mission critical situation. But, Solana has to really step up that capability in order for me to believe that they would be ready for those kinds of transactions. It'll just take some time. There are other coins out there that are already doing mission critical work. So just saying, the competition is fierce. The competition is fierce. The Federal Reserve went through their annual bank stress test, right? And I'm looking at these stress tests and I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, that's awesome. But it seems like every time they do the stress test, at least one of the banks raises their hand and says, hey, we think you're, underreporting what we believe would be an issue. It would be nice to see the banks line up with the Fed, or the Fed line up with the banks, and then have everybody sit back and say, okay, this is what we would need to do to mitigate, those kinds of circumstances, that kind of stress. What would we have to do to handle that? Like what bank would have to buy what bank to bail it out? Excuse me, things like that. So I'm just wondering, like, how do you do that? Because that's a very big deal. One of the reasons why I got into crypto is because of the banking industry. I think this is where the banking industry is going, and they've got to figure out how to do all of that. I mean, look at all the features that a bank has, all the services that banks have. And then look at all the services that crypto offers. Same stuff. I mean, some of the more, complex transactions that bankers do and that stuff like that, well, crypto would have to mature and somebody would have to create the model and then it would move forward. But you have DeFi, you have regular things that people use on a daily basis, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, there's more than just a little potential in crypto. If you look at the use of crypto from a daily perspective, if I was going to the store and I was going to buy something, when was the last time you whipped out cash? And remember, there are two groups of people. There are people that live based on cash that actually don't even believe in the banking system. And there are people that, I've got a card and I'm going to pay with my card. I went kicking and screaming into that whole card thing. Debit cards, didn't like them at the beginning. Still don't like them. And I feel that if I'm going to do something digital now, I'm dying for the day that I could just walk into a store and boop, pay with crypto. And I don't mean pay with crypto through a credit card company. I mean the natural transaction of I'm buying something from you, I send you some crypto. I don't need an exchange for that. That's an OTC peer-to-peer transaction. I need to send you crypto so that you give me product or service, period. I don't understand why that is not taking off as fast as I think it should. But I think that's slowly changing. I'm slowly getting more and more calls, to Rebel Reach, which is our web hosting company, saying, hey, we want to update our e-commerce site and we'd like to introduce crypto. Because our platform does crypto, PayPal, credit card, that's it. You're off to the races with those three. Because when we do a website for you, we're looking at your web 2, addresses. We're getting your web 3 addresses, handling your email, all that good stuff. But the key component to us is the ability for people to pay for services via crypto. And some people might think, oh, you're crazy for doing that. But like, not really. Not really. Overseas, you can walk into a store, buy your, your croissant, sit down, have your coffee, and pay with crypto. Boom. Everything is all done. That should have already happened in the United States. We used to be at the forefront. We're way behind right now, in my humble opinion, in the digital asset space. There's too much uncertainty when it comes to, regulation and compliance and this, that, and the other. It make it really hard to do business as a crypto company, right? It's hard for projects to be successful here. And hopefully it gets better. That's what we're hoping for. That's really what we're hoping for, because I think that it's going to help the economy when things start to move in that crypto direction. Less living off of credit, more living off of what you have and what you don't have. That to me is a pretty good space. Pretty good space. But anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let me just change that. And there you go. All right, so let's just confirm. There you go. PCE numbers should come in at 8:30. That's when you're at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 is when you're going to start to see, how the market is reacting to those PCE numbers. And then you have, a whole bunch of Fed speak, happening later on, right? The fear and greed index is still at 47. That means we're neutral right now, right? DeFi Llama, we have $118 billion in total value locked. I just want to see where that is, right? Why is my screen jumping? That makes sense. There you go. All right, so Lido, Aave, yeah, normal players. So staking, lending, restaking, lending, dexes. Yeah, okay. Not upset about that. Not upset about that at all. Not bad. I can see where the money, where that total value locked is coming from, and those are good things. Pendle, number 9, not bad. Mr. Shook told me about Pendle. So that's the reason why I look at it. And then looking at Bitcoin, we're still moving laterally. It's just that right now we're in my blue band, and my blue band starts at 57,686 and tops out at 63,719. Remember what I told you before we broke above, it was we need to maintain above 63,719 for us to achieve another high. That would be the number. The number that I have right now, for us is 69,355. So we've got to bust through 63,719 and then bust through 69,355 for us to obtain that new high. And I mean bust through and maintain, not just spike and come down. I mean bust through, maintain, right? I think that's going to be the very big deal for that space. Looking at Coin 360, yeah, I just look at this and I just go, there's so many places where you could be making money. So many places. I mean, looking at Chainlink, nowhere near its all-time high. If you'd have bought earlier this week, it was at the $13 mark. I think you might be up about $1. That's not bad. Let's see. Polkadot not doing poorly. Just saying. I look at these numbers and I automatically go back to what's your all-time high. Then I skim back to what kind of news have I seen? And am I expecting more news based on what it is that they said that they were doing? And that's how I start to buy. Solana, you were in the 130s earlier this week. Avalanche is another good buy. Even though some of these might seem, dark green and they seem like a really high, they're really not. Pay attention to their all-time highs. Pay attention to their all-time highs, right? Before you start making moves, pay attention to the news. And I don't mean just one article. I mean, read the article, go see if there's corroborating evidence. Read the article and see if they're not referencing somebody else, right? That's really what I want you to do. I really want you to do that. Let's look at it from a numbers perspective. Yeah, Yeah, not bad. Let me skip down. We did all the lower numbers before. Let's do above 25 on my favorites list. I'm still liking Aptos. I thought about taking it off the other day, and then I was like, no, I think Aptos is going to do something. I think Render is going to do something. Everybody on my list, everything on my list, I think has the potential of doing something, and none of these are like little players, right? None of them are little players. They're all doing something. They're all doing something. And that's why I tell people all the time, just pay attention to that. Because, the question I had for everybody the other night was, how many of you have X amount of coin? Like, where's the bulk of your coin? Is it above $2 billion in market cap? Is it below 2 billion, but higher than 1 billion? Is it, between 500 million and 1 billion? Is it lower than 500 million? Right? And there's a different strategy that has to happen when you're looking at each one of those. Right? And, sometimes, if you look at these coins, they're all mostly very established coins, very established projects. But then you get down to here and it's like, well, Flow used to be a big player, but now it's not. It's below a billion. I'm just saying, like, I pay attention to all that stuff. I still like Gala because I like the history of it. Quant hasn't done anything in a long time. Is it due? I don't know. I haven't heard any news. I haven't really seen anything. I don't know. Beam is one that I recently added to the list. I just wanted to see what was going on. Obviously, Singularity was added. Why? Because it's about to merge, right? The Sandbox, I think gaming is going to come back. Tezos is trying to make a move. Book of Meme is a straight up meme coin. Is it going to do something? Maybe. I don't know. Chili's has a lawsuit going on. Apparently, they were supposed to pay somebody some Chili coins, and they didn't. They say that they didn't get the coin, and there's a whole bunch of insider stuff that's going on with them. So I don't know yet. I'm probably going to wind up taking them off the list. Decentraland, again, gaming, I think is going to happen. Wormhole, I'm only tracking because I'm just tracking it. I'm not holding that at all. I just want to track its success. But, not all that successful when you're down that much on, year to date. Just saying. Another one, ApeCoin, just tracking. IOTA, because of the whole, ISO thing. I had been tracking them, but I'm probably going to remove them from the list because I haven't heard Jack in like forever. Haven't heard anything in forever. Helium, I think, is going to wind up moving up. I really do think Helium is going to wind up moving up. And it's only because of everything that they're doing. It's step by step, opening up their protocol to, other carriers. I think that's some good stuff, on the mobile side. Pancake Swap, Cake, just tracking it, see what's going on. Nervous, I don't hold anything. I'm probably, I'm just going to remove it now because I don't do anything with them. XDC, I was trying to pay attention to them as well. XDC doesn't do it for me. I'm not seeing any kind of reason for me to go out and get XDC. But I track it because, again, another one of those ISO related coins that I just wanted to keep an eye on to see what was going on. A Star has a whole bunch of stuff going on, including a deal with Toyota. So I definitely want to see how that works out. That's why I keep that one there. Blur, not really tracking that one. Didex, just same thing. Ocean, I pay attention again because of the merger. Zilliqa, yeah, I'm gonna take that off the list. I'm not really paying attention to them. Engine, yeah, I pay attention to Engine a little bit. Qtum, Quantum, I'm not paying attention to them. They come off the list. Harmony One, I'm only paying attention to that because one of my friends is currently holding it. VThor, same thing. I actually have a little bit of VThor. It goes along with VChain. I pay attention to both of those. Helium Mobile, again, with Helium, I pay attention to that. This is another meme coin. It could do something. Could do something. It's really low. Look at that number. Below 500 million. So if I was to buy right now and all of a sudden meme coins take off, well, that's the only reason why I say, hey, Stitchy, come here. Uppy. You just like to sit down and get your pets, huh? Yeah. So, Bone for Shiba Swap. Yeah, I pay attention to that because it's a part of the Shiba, ecosystem, and I love the Shiba Inu ecosystem. SNEC I've been tracking for a while, but hasn't done anything for me. Again, 34% down on year to date. Yeah, nah, not feeling it. UFO Gaming I'm only tracking because I actually have a bag from way back, but I should just get rid of it. It's money lost. And it wasn't a lot of money. I think it was like $100, $150, something like that. It was a really low number. But that's not doing anything for me. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, boy. So yeah, that's it. So for today, I think right now I'm looking at the PCE numbers. Oh, now you want to be a ham? Okay. This is for Sean. You came up here just for Sean and Kevin? Yeah, figures. Oh, and Panonymous me, right? 'Cause she likes dogs. So, yeah. I know we have to eat. I haven't had my coffee yet. But that's it. That's going on for right now. I will be back on later on tonight for the live where we have some seriously live, conversations. With regard to SIL 80, hey, bud, I'm not mad at you for liking Solana. I'm just not, I have a bag of Solana. I have a nice bag of Solana. I'm just being really realistic about their, real-time capabilities. Like, I'm not real time, but they're mission critical capabilities. I'm not going to put a whole bunch of money into Solana just yet until they can confirm for me that they have fixed that network problem. That network problem has reared its ugly head a lot, and that's a problem for me. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you have a good one. I'll see you later on tonight. Bye bye.